Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, welcome in. Today we are going to go over my favorite pencils, and we're going to have a little battle of the pencils and see which one are my favorites. If you're interested in that, stick around. The first set of pencils we're going to talk about is probably not a surprise to anybody, but it is my Prismacolor pencils. I use these the most, I'm going to say. And the reason I use these the most is because I am used to these pencils. I know the colors. I know what I can do with them. They're very easy to blend together. They're very easy to layer. But the main thing, if I'm going to do like a portrait, the Prismas are what I'm going to go for. Because as you see, these pencils over here are pretty short. These are my skin colors. This is the set that I always go to when I use or when I'm going to color a portrait. Now, to me, I wish that the Prismas had a better array of colors, if you will. I just think that it's missing, especially like reds. I don't think that you get very many reds with this. Like really over here, these are the only like reds you're gonna get. Crimson red, maybe even Crimson Lake. These are like your darkest red that you're gonna get. And if you notice there's pencils missing, it's because I'm using them on something else. But when I want to color something red, I'm really looking for something much deeper than what the Prismas can offer. But they have a great color range for portraits and skin tones. Now, I don't use the Prisma Blues as much either, but I have been trying to, whatever pencils are really long, I've been trying to create color palettes for that to actually use some of these. And then the browns, the Prisma has a decent set of browns, but still nothing that is dark enough. The darkest brown you're gonna get is like the espresso. And this still is not dark enough. I do use my grays a lot for shading. I try not to use black to shade at all. So I do use the grays a lot. But if you're looking for a good set of pencils that are easy, because Prismas are easy to use because you can smush them together. And anybody that's used a Prisma knows what I'm talking about. But smushing is really good if you're new and you're just learning how to blend or layer or something like that. These will do it for you. Now, I will show you some portraits that I've done with the Prismacolors in Wildflower Folk by Christine Karen. I just picked out some of my favorite ones that I did. Let's see. Okay, I did Spring Awakening in this book with the Prismacolors, and I actually did a video on this one. This is one of my favorite pages that I have done, and I did a video on each thing, like the skin, the hair, the flowers and butterflies, and the background. I did a video on the whole page, but this is one of my favorites. And you see how you can just blend everything together with the Prismas. They are wonderful for this. And I've got another one in Wanderous Folk by Christine Karen. And this is another one of my very favorite pages that I've ever done. It's called Flower Earring. And this one was also done with Prisma. And I love the way I was able to get her skin tone. So you can see why I do like to reach for the Prismas for portraits and things like that, because they just melt together so easily. And before we move on to the second round of the Battle of the Pencils, I did want to show you the swatch for the Prismas. And it looks, you know, they have a good color range. It's just I wish there was more reds, and I wish there were more browns. But this is my swatch for the Prismas. And of course you've got your neons back here and your metallic gold and silver. But that is the swatch for the Prismas. And I just use the mixed media book from Master Art to do my swatches on. Round 2, we have got the Black Widow pencils. And I did a video on these. I can't remember what I called it. Something like the pencils that nobody talks about or something like that. I love the Black Widow pencils. First of all, they have a dark skin set and a light skin set. So you've got the whole array of color choices to do your portraits. The Black Widow set has the best, in my opinion. These are all my opinions. The Black Widow set also has the best red colors. This one, deep red. Anytime I want something red, I am going to go to my Black Widow pencils first. I mean, there's red here. We've got more going into the pinks here. There's some burgundies. The black, this one is, I didn't say, the Prismacolors that I have is the 150 set. I have all the sets of the Black Widows, and there's 180 total in the Black Widows. And they just, I love the greens. There's such dark greens in this. Look at that lid. Look how dark that is. All these greens. There's another one. I use forest green a lot. Fang green is another one. And these pencils have fun names to them. And then the browns. Look at all these lovely browns. We're going all the way to midnight, all the way down to like a tan color. Look at the leather color. Like, isn't that an interesting color? And this is not something that you're going to find in the Prisma set. So let me show you some finished pages that I've done with the Black Widow, and I will also show you the swatch for these. Now, some of the finished pages that I've done with the Black Widow are also some of my very favorite, and I'm going to show you pages out of the same books, Wildflower Folk and Wanderous Folk. But this one is one of my absolute favorites, First Snow. And this is done with the Black Widow. The thing about the Black Widows also is they are a little bit harder of a pencil. So if I'm going to do fur or something like that, like on the dog, I do like to use the Black Widows over the Prismas, because the Prismas are very soft, which I love about that. But the Black Widows are just a tad bit harder where I can get the fur in there. This is another one that I've done with the Black Widows. Again, used it for the kitten. I love this page. I think she looks like Rihanna. But you can see how easily they blend together. Very easy, just like Prismas, but you've got to try a little bit harder with the Black Widows. And then in Wanderous Folk, I did Cleo with the Black Widows, and I really like how her skin tone turned out too. This is one of my very favorite pages. but you can get a very nice blended skin tone with the Black Widows for sure. Lovely. I just love this page. And here's my swatch for the Black Widow. And just look at how this color range goes from, we've got snow up here. We even got, look, there's 3 different types of white: snow, Casper, and milk. And then all these yellows, and you get into some skin tones and the oranges and the purples and the blues and the greens. Look at all the browns. It's just such a good color range for the browns, and it makes it easy to blend when you have so many colors that kind of stack on top of each other. I hope that makes sense. Now on to round 3, I'm going to talk about the Master Art pencils. These are a budget pencil compared to the other 2. You can get this whole set. This is a 150 set. And I'm not sure how much they are now. I will try to like put the prices of each one. I'll look it up and I'll put the prices of each one on the screen somewhere. But you can also buy these in sets, so you don't have to buy the whole 150 set at the same time. But these are much, much cheaper than the Black Widow and the Prisma. And they've got a pretty good color range. You can see we've got some light flesh tones here. We've got a little bit of red. See, to me, all pencil sets lack red and brown, except for the Black Widows. But we've got the reds here. These are my least used favorite pencils, but I do really like these. And let me show you. They are, what is that shape? Octagon? Hexagon? I don't know. It's that shape. It's not round, which is nice because they don't roll away from you. Put that back in there. But look how pretty. I usually will reach for the Master Art pencils when I want a pastel color, because they've got lovely a range of pastel. This is one of my favorites. Look how pretty that is. It's beautiful. But these are a very, very good alternative if you don't want to spend so much money on Prisma or Black Widow. These are very good. And they do have a great range of browns here. We get into some lighter ochres here. If you like fluorescent, it's got a whole range of fluorescent here. And all the metallics that come in this set, I actually use these. I don't usually use the metallics in any other set because, I mean, I just don't like them. But these I really do. And they do sell the metallic set separate if you only are after some metallics. But like this one is a very interesting metallic green. Look how pretty that is. Very nice, very nice. And then this is the first set I got. I think it was, I don't remember what it was called, but this is the first set I got. As soon as I got these pencils and sharpened it and held it in my hand, I knew I wanted the whole set. And so I went and got the whole set. But these are the Master Arts, and let me show you the swatch of these and a couple of examples of pages that I've done with them. And I've done a couple in Wanderous Folk by Christine Karen. I did the Beloved page. I think this was for a hashtag. Yeah, Amanda Colors Palette Challenge, February 2026. And because I wanted something pastel in here, pinks, I knew I was going to go for pinks because that was part of her colors there. So I went to the Master Arts because they are, to me, in my opinion, have the best the best selection for pastels. But there is one that I did with the Master Arts. And then I did another one at the back. This one here, Wind of Change. And I used the reds and the pinks in there. And then I did figure out a skin tone, but even though I've had the Master Arts for quite a while now, but I'm still not familiar enough with them that they're not my first one that I grab if I'm going to do portraits, because I don't know the pencils well enough for that. But let me show you the swatch. And here's my swatch for the Master Art 150. And I like this range right here, is very nice. And they have very good purples, pinks, blues. Like I said, the pastel colors is really what I like the most out of the Master Art set. So if you color a lot of pastel colors, this might be a good set for you. But see, it's got a pretty good range of browns here, and then you see all these fluorescent colors, which I don't use fluorescent very often at all, but they've got quite a few of them. And then these are the metallics, and they're just so unusual. And like I said, I do like to use these. But that's the Master Art swatch. So if I could only choose one set of pencils to use for the rest of my days, I would pick the Black Widows. The Black Widows, to me, are the most versatile. They've got, let me move these books out of the way so I don't hit you when I open this. They've just got the best range of color, in my opinion. The way that I color, the colors that I choose, the Black Widow pencils are the ones that I would go for. They've got skin tones for, it makes it easy because they've got the dark skin tone and the light skin tone set that you can get, and it makes it easier to come up with deeper skin tones. Because to me, that is a challenge to come up with deeper skin tones and not make it look awful and offensive, you know. And this set helps you do that because it has a set that is dedicated to just the dark skin tones. But are you surprised that I picked the Black Widows? The only complaint I have about the Black Widows is because sometimes it makes it difficult to know what the color is just because the barrel of the pencil is black. And I know that sounds crazy, but this set of pencils really does make me use my swatch sheet, because it's much easier to go over and look at the swatch sheet and then find them than trying to look at, because you don't want to go by this here because it never matches with with any pencil set. It doesn't seem like that. It's not bad difference, but it's just the color of the pencil throws me off, I guess. It makes me cross-eyed when I try to look at it. So I do use the swatch sheet the most for these pencils. But I love these. These are, I think, very underrated in the coloring community. I don't see many people using these, but these are my favorite pencils, and the ones that, if I could only have one set, these would be it. Now, I know I didn't go into real deep detail about each one of the pencils. I have videos on all these pencils, and so if you're interested, you can go check those out. But I just felt like talking about my pencils today. So I hope that it was at least entertaining for you. And if you stuck around in the video for this long, I appreciate you very much. And I hope that you have a wonderful morning or afternoon or evening or wherever you are in the world when you're listening to this. And until next time, y'all.